Welcome, Brother Anoop. This is Anoop Sharma from Uttar Pradesh. He graduated law school and he will be sharing with us our fundamental rights from the Constitution, including Article 25, as well as the anti-conversion law. Welcome, Brother Anoop.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, today I will be speaking mostly about religious rights and law against it, and Indian constitution and anti-conversion law. See, these are both things we need to understand. If you don't understand the Indian constitution, then we won't be able to understand what is anti-conversion law, because both are contradictory from each other. So I will be focusing on Article 25. But in order to understand Article 25, we have to go we should understand many things from our Indian Constitution. Since हमारे पास time बहुत कम है, so I will be just giving solo understanding from this. So let us start. So as we know that we are living in a country which is a secular country. India is a secular, democratic and republic where religious freedom is protected by the Indian Constitution. So Indian Constitution is like a weapon for us that protects us, especially for present situation and from the beginning itself. The principal safeguard is Article 25, which guarantees freedom of conscience. Freedom of conscience is a topic which is if you understand, it is a biblical term, and it is rooted from the biblical understanding. When I was studying about the freedom of conscience, we'll be discussing about it clearly. And right to profess, practice and propagate religion. So for religious minorities, including Christians, Muslims, Sikh and Buddhists, Jains and Parsis, Article 25 is a vital constitutional protection. So it is something like Article 25 is we have a great weapon and we should know it, and we should know how to use it and where to use it. However, religious freedom often exists in tension with public order, concern and anti-conversion law wherever exist. An incident of religious hostility, understanding both the rights and limitation under the constitution is very essential. Sometimes we know the rights, but sometimes we are not able to figure out what are the limitation of the right. Because previously somebody said to me that whether law protects our right or whether it takes away our right. So it is very important for us to understand its essence, rights with the limitation. So in order to understand Article 25, we need to also understand basic structure of Indian Constitution, protection of religious right. Basic structure of Indian Constitution was developed by the Supreme Court in the landmark case. That case was a Kesonanda Bharati versus State of Kerala. With this case, there were a lot of cases has followed before these cases. So, but in this case, Kesonanda Bharati, I will request everybody, whenever you have time, go and Google and read Kesonanda Bharati versus State of Kerala. The court held that Parliament can amend the constitution but cannot destroy its basic structure. So, fact of this case was Swami Kesananda Bharati, head of the Hindu religious institution in Kerala, challenged state land reform laws that affected the property of his mutt. Mutt, you can understand that a place where religious institutions are being held, especially in Hindu religion, that is called a mutt. So during the proceeding, the validity of several constitution amendments was also challenged. Before that, many constitution amendments were happened. Since they were already being happened, but when this case came to the in the court, so many amendments were being challenged from this case. So the key question before the Supreme Court was, we have to understand, can Parliament amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental right, without any limitation? And this was the greatest question in front of the Supreme Court law. That can Parliament amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental right, and without any limitation? So in judgment 24 April 1973, 13 judge bench of the Supreme Court delivered its historic decision. Court said Parliament can amend the Constitution. Parliament has a wide power under Article 368 to amend the Constitution. But Parliament cannot destroy the basic structure. Remember that it is very important that Parliament cannot destroy the basic structure. Now BJP or RSS people, they can try anything, but they cannot touch the basic structure, whether they have a majority, whether there is no opposition, but they cannot touch the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. So the court ruled the Parliament cannot alter or destroy the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. And we should praise God for this judgment. Otherwise, they could have done something. So this principle become as a basic structure. Today, Stella was supposed to share federalism and basic structure. Since we have a less time, I have to finish this. That's why I said maybe we'll have a next meeting, then we can share. So, important of element of structure. I'm just giving a framing a background so we can understand Article 25. Supremacy of Constitution and the rule of law. Rule of law means like in democracy mostly the superiority of would be law, and every would be equal before the law, and there won't be any power beyond the law. So that is the called rule of law. Democracy, secularism. We'll be talking also on this topic. What is secularism? This is a very key topic to understand, and when it has been added in one of the amendment. And federalism and separation of power, judicial review and independence of judicial, fundamental rights and free and fair election and dignity of the individual. So this is the basic structure of our Indian Constitution. But but we can see now supremacy of the Constitution is there, rule of law is there, democracy is there, secularism is there, federalism is there, separation of power is there, judicial review is there, independence of judiciary is there, fundamental rights are there, free fair election is there, dignities of the individual. Everything is like a documented. But you see properly whether these things are really working fairly. Free and fair election is there, whether we are able to exercise our fundamental rights, whether independence of judiciary is there, whether separation of power is there, but how they are exercising. Secularism is there. One person can propagate, profess our religion, but other minorities cannot do that. So we these are the many things are practically challenged but documented as there. So then if we understand we need to understand preamble of the Indian Constitution. I would be happy if churches start to practice to keep one note of the preamble of Indian Constitution and read it. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social economy and political, liberty of thoughts, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the integrity of the nation. It is in Hindi. So it has been adopted 1949. The Constitution was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. January 26, 1950, it was being came into the force, and this day celebrated as a Republic Day. And 1976, 42nd Amendment, Constitutional Amendment, was of the major amendment that talks about the Kesavananda Bharati case. So through the 42nd Amendment of the Indian Constitution of India, the word socialist, secular, and integrity were added to the preamble. So now government is trying to remove this word secular because this has been amended. But through that amendment, the secular word has been made as the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. So now it is not possible to remove this word. But now government has tried many times, and they were trying because that is why they had agenda India should be the Hindu nation. But if you talk about, we cannot be happen, because secularism is not just an amendment, but is a part of basic structure of Indian constitution. So we have to the amendment came into the force during the emergency period, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So we have to understand what is the meaning of secular. The word secular does not mean that India is anti-religion or irreligious. Indian secularism means equal respect for all religion. That does not establish any official religion. Why? India cannot be a Hindu religion. Why it cannot be Hindu country? Because our Indian constitution does not support it, and it is not even found in the Indian basic structure of our Indian constitution. Because our the rule of law is found, and the supreme law of India is a Indian constitution. And Indian constitution, there is a after 42nd amendment, it has been given the verdict by the Supreme Court that secularism is the basic structure of Indian constitution. That's why we cannot have an official religion, especially in India. So that agenda is not going to work, and it does not treat citizen differently because of religion.
Uh, uh, Tanzania.
Okay, and it must be protect the rights of all religion communities, must maintain neutrality among the religion. The state can regulate secular activities connected with the religion, but cannot interfere with the genuine religious freedom except according to law. And churches, and we need to also understand, if sometimes we program if we are doing, or some seminars if we are conducting, and it is something interconnected with the religion, then we can also uh, get connected with the our government, like if we are state or local governments, and we can do with them, and they are going to support us. And if they are not going to support us, we can also ask some genuine question from them. So secularism and religious freedom, what is the meaning? The concept of secularism is closely linked with the other articles. See, there is only one word you would be understanding. There is one word, but it has a great impact and great meaning. And behind that, there are a lot of articles are linked with this. And if you are going to remove this word, and this is going to really disturb other articles. If you talk about the Article 14 that says equality before law, it is not a equality before law just in the documented or in the economically or socially, but it is also all about the religious things, that every person will be treated equally. Nobody will be discriminated on the basis of their religion or caste or race. No discrimination is going to be happen. Article 25, freedom of conscience and religion. I am When I was studying about it, I give thanks to the God, because when we study the freedom of conscience, it is something inner being, inner conviction. And about when we'll study profess and propagate, that is for the outer being. But freedom of conscience, that we find the work of Jesus Christ in human life. Article 26 talk about the religious denomination rights. We should understand that what are our right, denominational right, being a minorities. And Article 27 talk about freedom from the taxation for promotion of the particular religion. And Article 28, freedom regarding religious instruction and certain education institution. So, in Supreme Court on secularism, one of the case was the Bommai versus Union of India. The Supreme Court held in that case that secularism is a basic feature of the constitution, as I said in the beginning. So the state must treat all religion equally. No government can act in a manner that destroy the secular character of the constitution. Because secularism is a part of the constitution's basic structure, parliament cannot abolish it, even though a constitutional amendment. So even the majority, whether it's BJP, Congress, any parties in the ruling party would be, if they have a majority, if they have all MP and MLS there, but they cannot amend it now. Why they cannot amend it? Because parliament cannot, because it has become the basic structure of Indian constitution, and that is That's why the Kesavananda Bharati case was very important. So the important term in the preamble which has been used is sovereign. India is independent, not controlled by any foreign power. After 1947, India was being, before that, India was being ruled by British law. Now it has, but we know that foreign power has been controlling our country, like about the foreign treaties, about the trade. Like Trump is dealing with the PM, and many things are happening. Rahul Gandhi is raising a lot of questions. Socialist, the state seeks social and economic justice and reduction of the inequality. Secular, my main focus is going to be on secular. The state respect all religion equally and protect religion's freedom. But really this is happening or not happening? We have the answer, and we have also questioned this. So democratic, the government is elected by the people through the free elections. So we need to pray about it that now we are not having a free election, and that we are not able to choose our candidate. Many places and many things are happening. The head of the state elected and not heredity and monarchy. So, sir, we'll be seeing the relevance for religious minorities. The preamble guarantees liberty of belief, liberty of faith, and liberty of worship, equality of status, and dignity of the individual. For Christian, Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jain, Hindus, and all other communities, this constitution values support the right to practice religion peacefully with dignity, subject to public order, morality, and health under the constitution. We have to understand these things in India when we study the Article 25, subject to public order, morality, and health under the constitution. Recently, we have seen that in Uttar Pradesh, government has passed the law that Muslim cannot use loudspeaker. I'll be talking on this. So preamble is a, like identity card. Preamble is the identity card of the Indian Constitution, and secularism is one of the basic feature ensuring equal respect and protection for all religion in India. We should give thanks for the Lord for the 42nd Amendment. So fundamental rights relevant to religious freedoms, we will see equality before law. Article 14 is very important. We should know that every person is equal before the law regardless of their religion, where he is a Hindu, he is a Muslim, he is a Jain, he is a Sikh, he is a Parsi, anybody. So everybody must be treated equally before the law. And he is equal, he won't be discriminated, as we are facing discrimination based on minorities. If Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Sikhs, others community face discrimination, they can invoke Article 14. We have to understand one thing. From the beginning, we have been exercising FIR, but we never talk. We very less we are trying to exercise the rates. So I will be on this also today. So Article 19, freedom of speech and association. Article 19 gives us freedom that we have a citizen have the right to express our religious belief peacefully, form religious association and organization, conduct lawful meeting and gathering, and we can express our religious belief and peacefully. In South Indian, some churches I have found that every Sunday they read creed, and they meditate what is our faith and why what we believe, why we do believe, and what are our principle and doctrines that they exercise. But we cannot do sometime publicly. We have this freedom, but we have to understand what speech can be spoken in the public and what that thing should be spoken in the private places. Article 21. This is one of the tremendous article, right to life and personal liberty. The Supreme Court has interpreted Article 21 broadly. It protects human dignity, personal security, freedom from arbitrary violence, protection against torture and unlawful detention. If a person is assaulted or threatened because of their faith, then Article 21 is being like violated, and we can invoke Article 25, freedom of religion. That is a main topic today. That was just background. Every person has right to profess a religion. Article 25 says, every person has a right to practice a religion. Every person has a right to propagate a religion peacefully. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that sharing one's faith voluntarily is being protected by the law. However, force, fraud, and coercion are not protected. These things, force, fraud, and coercion, are not protected. So we should understand these things were earlier before anti-conversion law came to the north, like Uttar Pradesh, other state of India. Force and fraud and coercion are not protected. What is thing are being protected? We can profess, we can practice, we can propagate, and this thing we can done, but we cannot do this thing by using these channels. So what key right says? We have a prayer. We have right to prayer, do prayer meetings, Bible studies, evangelism through the peaceful communication, distribution of religious literature, conversion through voluntary personal choice. Conversion through voluntary personal choice. We will be talking on this. So, Article 25 of Indian Constitution. Freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Article 25 is one of the most important constitutional safeguard for religious freedom in India. It protects every person's right to believe, worship, and live according to their religious conviction. But it must be subject to public order, morality, and health, and to other provision of this part. All persons are equal entitled to freedom of conscience and the right freely to profess, practice, and propagate their religion. Looking so good in writing. So it is a background how it is came during that time. There was a lot of violence were going on between the one religion to another religion. Many things happened. So it was the mind of in the mind of the constitutional makers. Thank God they keep it Article 25 as the Indian part of the Indian Constitution. So first thing that I said in Article 25 said freedom of conscience. Conscience means individual inner conviction regardless their religion. That includes the right to believe in religion, to change one's religion, to have no religion, to reject religion practices. The state cannot force a person to adopt a particular faith. So, Article freedom of conscience, when we share the gospel, God works here. That is a part of Indian Constitution. Freedom of conscience, that it is the inner conviction regardless our religion. If gospel has been sown in our life, if God convicted our heart, then we are trying to believe in the Jesus, and we are going to follow Christianity as our religion or something like. So this it is a to believe in a religion, and then by conviction which is happen inner side, then we can change a religion. And also this 25 article 25 also gives, I forgot there's one person or lady that who has, I think, given her name that says she is a religionless and casteless. I forgot her name, or whether he's a man, I don't remember. Even you can, a person who can say I don't have any religion, to reject religion practices, and while you are doing all these things, state cannot force to adopt any particular faith. But now we can see in Uttar Pradesh, government cannot profess, propagate, or share about any particular religion in a public places, that you should follow this and you should do that. Government cannot do it. It is actually against the Indian Constitution. But Indian government is doing, like North India, like especially Uttar Pradesh is happening. If somebody has a guts, we can go against this government and we can say this is wrong against the Indian Constitution. Right to profess of religion. To profess means to openly declare one's faith. I'm a Hindu from Hindu background, but I see because of this situation, I cannot declare my faith openly. But if I declare my faith openly on documents through the government, I'm not going to be opposed if they are genuinely exercising the power. Since we know that nothing is happening, genuinely, declaring oneself as a Christian, wearing religious symbol. So if you are wearing religious symbols and through that you are promoting any particular religion and you are indicating some religious exercise or practices, nobody can stop you because that is your right. Publicly identifying with one religion, like Muslims are wearing their clothes. By seeing their clothes, we can understand they are Muslim. By seeing the clothes of the Jews, we can understand they are come from Jewish backgrounds. So testifying about the one's belief, we can testify our faith, like Jesus said, go and make the disciple and preach. So we can profess and we can also testify. We give the testimony and we can share about our faith. Try to practice religion. Practice means performing religious act like a prayer meeting, church service, baptism, Bible study, fasting, religious festivals for Christian. These things involve worship services, communion, prayer gathering, house fellowship, and disciple program. These things are we are exercising in the church. And while we are exercising these things, we are being attacked. You know that when we are trying prayer meetings, we are having church services, and if we are doing any giving any baptism to somebody, if we are doing so, we are being attacked. But our Indian Constitution, Article 25 said that we have a right to practice religions activities. Like these are the performing what we are, these are religious activities actually. These are religious act. We can do it. But we are doing but when we are doing, we are being attacked. Why we are being attacked? So we'll be also talking on this. Right to propagate religion. Propagate means spread or communicate religion's belief, like evangelism, distribution of Bible, religious teachings, and personal witnessing and public preaching subject to law. Public preaching subject to law and constitutional explicitly propagation. So, but there are some limitation in Article 25. We have to understand. Religious freedom is not absolute. We should focus here that while in Article 25 gives us a freedom to propagate, to profess, to exercise, to preach, to share our belief, to express our thought, to exercise our faith, worship, everything. But we have to also understand it has also some limitation. It is not absolute. So it is also when I in the beginning I said public order. The state may regulate activities causing violence or public disturbance. Suppose that if you are conducting any service something and that is the against the public order and it is becoming a hindrance in any constitutional law. If we are say Article 25 14 says everybody is equal for the law. We have also this right that we can propagate, profess, and share. But we have to also understand other person has also right to not listen what you are sharing. He don't want to listen and he don't want to be uh, disturb what you are doing publicly. If his rights are being violated, then he can uh, do FIR against you and he can do complaint against you. Morality. Practice contrary to constitutional morality may be restricted. Morality means like what you are doing, what you are practicing, it should be the not something which are against the morality of the society and people. We should not break like someone's faith or belief. But still, see, there are in Hinduism, there are some Nagas. They are not wearing any clothes and they are publicly going and I mean we can see them, but nobody can say against them because they are uh, practicing as a part of their religion. And the state health, the state can regulate practice affecting public health. Suppose that you are God has given you vision and you went to share the gospel in the public with a louder mic, and somebody has a problem health issue and you are speaking loudly, believe in Jesus Christ, God will heal you and give you salvation. Okay, everything good, but your voice and what you are doing publicly, it is affecting someone's health. It means you are violating Indian Article 25. That is a limit. You cannot. That's why now in Uttar Pradesh, especially asking remove the speakers. Why? It is against the health. That comes like a under the Article 25. That is not absolute power. You cannot uh, affect someone's health through your faith, through your exercise, through your religious acts. Other fundamental rights, religious freedoms cannot violate another person's constitutional right. So I said in the beginning, we have also right to share, do everything, but we have to also concern others' right. So I in the beginning said we have right to believe in religion, and we have also right not to believe any religion. We have believed to practice. We have right to practice any religion's acts, and we have also right not to practice. So some people are practicing, some people are not practicing, and we cannot force them. Challenges faced by religious minorities. Although Article 25 guarantees religious freedom, minorities sometimes face practical challenges like social hostility, threat against worship gathering, pressure on converts, community boycotts. Like if you believe in the Lord and you are come from Hindu religions and people are not going to accept you in the society, they are doing boycott. See, this is the against the Indian Article 25. Mob violence, disruption of prayer meeting, which is happening now, attacks on churches, distraction on religious property. And we have to also understand like we have to secure our property now nowadays because government is trying to snatch it. Such actions violated Article 2014, Article 21, Article 25. If somebody is threatening worship gathering, pressure on converts, and community boycotts, and disruption of like prayer meeting, these are happening. So they are going against the law. We can take action against them. Misuse of criminal complaints. In some of situation, allegation relating to religious conversion may lead to investigation, arrest, or legal proceeding. Where allegations are false, affected person have legal remedies through the court and constitutional protection. Administrative restrictions are there, like challenges may be arise regarding permission, registration requirements, use of premise, and any restriction must be satisfied constitutional regards. When any misuse of criminal complaints against happen against, so this thing can be, these are the things which would be uh, taken by the police against you. They will, maybe they can arrest you, and they can do investigate your church, your papers, everything, and they can proceed legal proceeding. They can do all these things. You cannot do at that time anything. You have to go through the process. Security available when Article 25 is being violated. Remember, we have to also understand, since there are rights, if the rights are being violated, then what we can do. Article 35. Citizen may directly approach the Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar called Article 32 the heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. Article 32 is a very important for us. And Article 2026, citizen may approach the Allahabad High Court and other high courts for protection of right. High courts possess broad power to issue writs. So we'll be discussing about the writs. So when our rights, fundamental rights are being violated, then we can file the writs in the High Court. There are some writs we should know them, and we have so also understand when we have to file the FIR and when we have to file the writ. And so public integration. So, habeas corpus used against the illegal detention when police is detained you and they are not giving any information after 24 hours, and then you can file a writ in High Court. Mandamus means hota hai compel authorities to perform legal duties when any police officer and higher officer, they are not performing a right duties and they are doing against the law, they are violating the law, and you know that this is the not right thing, then you can file the writ in High Court. Certiorari means होता है quashes unlawful orders. Provision means होता है stop lower courts or tribunal from exceeding jurisdiction. Some some courts, lower session courts are there, but they don't have that power, but they are exceeding their jurisdiction. That means that things should be done in the High Court or Supreme Court, but they are doing. So you can file the writs. Q warranto is challenging unlawful occupation of public office. Article 26, it's all about the right of religious denomination. Religious groups can like establish institution, manage religious affair, and own the administration property. Article 26. But many properties I have seen in North India which has been on the lease and they did not renewed their papers and documents. They did not clear documents with the government. Now government is snatching. Why? Because they didn't work properly on their papers. But they have rights. Article 26 gives a right to manage with our properties and our religious affairs within ourselves. Government cannot interfere in that. When government is trying to interfere in your religious affair, then it means they are violating our fundamental rights, and we can file rates against them. Is some local people is if doing this. This protects churches, ministries, seminaries, and charitable institutions. Under these things, people are opening churches and ministries and seminaries and church charitable institution. If somebody says anything you cannot do, then you can say Article 26 give us this freedom. Article 29 and 30 minority rights are there. You can go through. So now we'll be seeing these rights. Protection against the persecution and violence. If churches or religious gathering is attacked, so constitutional, see, remember one thing, if whenever any church, whenever any premise, or if any things, which is religious things are happening and they are being attacked, so there are some articles from the beginners, they have they have attacked those articles. So they are violating what they are violating. They are violating Article 14, which is equality before the law. Article 25, life and liberty. They are violating this law. Article 25, religious freedom. So criminal offenses may include under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, assault, criminal intimidation, rioting, trespass. See, we can do lots of FIR against them. No, trespasses means nobody can enter your premise until unless you are not giving the permission. But ropes like a fanatic groups, extremist groups are coming in your church and they are breaking our property and they are beating us and they are not taking any permission. They are doing a lot of wrong things with us. See, there are law article. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita says we can file FIR against them. See, lot of case can be done. Assault हो सकता है, criminal intimidation, rioting, trespasses, बिना परमिशन से हमारे घर के अंदर आए, mischief of causing damage, उन्होंने कितना सब तोड़ फाड़ किया, unlawful assembly, उन लोगों ने बिना परमिशन से ग्रुप के एक मारने की धमकी लेकर हमारे यहाँ बीच में आ गए, destruction of property. These are the things. Basis on this we can file FIR against them, but we are trying to escape. What to do if church or prayer meeting is attacked? See that these are things I will be sharing, but now you can. So immediate action we can do. We can call police, record videos and photographs if it is safely, identify witnesses, seek medical examination for injuries, demand registration of FIR, preserve damaged property and evidence. If police refuses to register FIR, submit written complaint to the Superintendent of Police (SP), approach the judicial magistrate, file a writ. We should learn how to file a writ. Petition before the Allahabad High Court, approach the National Human Rights Commission, approach the National Commission of Minorities. Again, I will sharing these things in. We have some more in other slides. Practical guidance for Christian ministries. See, we have to understand in Indian Constitution there is no any particular law which has made for especially for the Christian. There is only one law, one act which has made for the Christians. That is a Christian Marriage Act 1872. Apart from them, there is no any act. So if you conduct house churches, Bible study, disciple leadership training, prayer meeting. So keep this thing: attendance records, photographs of meetings, rental agreements, identify documents of participants, written statements showing participation is voluntary. See what we do problem here. Many of the churches in North India, and we are in the rented places, and many times when we are doing house churches, we take a rented place and we even don't inform landlord that we are conducting a house church in your home. Landlord is not aware of that, and when any extremist or any fanatic groups are said, these people comes and first they catch the landlord, and landlord says, I don't know actually what is happening in my home. We are not informing. Some morally we are doing wrong. We need to inform them first what actually why we are using their home and what we actually doing. What there are certain things we need to avoid. Any appearance of coercion, financial inducement linked to the religious conversion, a statement that could be interpreted as a threat of pressure. Yeah, we are Christian, we are good in speaking, but we cannot speak everything. You know that our words can be a trap and our word can be the redeemer also. So we have to also very careful what words we are doing when people are asking questions. And we have to also teach our believers when other groups people are suddenly they are coming, any of media people, any police officer, anybody is coming the church. Do not allow everybody to speak. We have to teach some our leaders. They should know what to speak, and more than that what not to speak. Sometimes we understand article 25 say give us this freedom, we can preach, we can teach, we can exercise, we can profess, but there are, I said in the beginning, it is not, we don't have absolute power, we have also restriction. Key constitutional principle: a Christian in India has the constitutional right to believe in Jesus Christ, worship individually or collectively, conduct Bible study, share the faith peacefully, establish churches and religious institutions according to law. No person has the legal right to assault. Remember one thing: in India, no person, no government, and no any fanatic groups, no any religious groups has any legal right to assault you, to threaten you that you cannot believe in Jesus Christ, you cannot exercise Christian religion, you cannot go to church, and you cannot read the Bible. If they are doing these things, it means they are violating your fundamental rights, and according to भारतीय न्याय संहिता 2023 के, they are doing crime. And if they are doing crime, it means they are breaking the law, and you can file the FIR against them. And if they are not uh, sorry, torture or damage religious premises because of religious belief, such act can violate both constitutional protection and criminal law. These are criminal laws actually. We can file what? We can file writ. With that, we can file complaint or FIR against them. So I will be taking little time, maybe 30 minutes. Please bear with me. Uttar Pradesh Anti-Conversion Law and Article 25. Something anti-conversion law is something like a breaking Article 25. I mean making a break laga raha hai Article 25 ko. So the relevant law is Uttar Pradesh provision is of Unlawful Conversion of Religions Act 2021 has came. It prohibits religious conversion obtained through force. In the beginning, I said now force, fraud, and coercion, undue influence. Not these are the thing earlier in the Article 25. I said in the beginning, Article 25 does not give us absolute power to do anything, uh, to profess, propagate everything, whatever you want to do. No, you cannot do. You cannot do any fraud. You cannot coercion. You cannot undo influence. And this thing has been added allurement or certain conversion related marriage. You know that many love jihad is happening, many marriages are happening just to convert people, and many things are happening. Certain cases are right and certain cases are not right. Article 25 of the Indian Constitution gives guarantees freedom of conscience, right to freely profess religion, and right to practice religion, right to propagate religion. However, these rights are subject to public order, morality, and health. These three words are very important: subject to public order, morality, and health. Sometimes many are not understanding what is public order. Public order is something like that. While 25 article is given to us, likewise Article 25, it is also belongs to. There are people who does not believe any religion, and we are going to sharing the gospel without their understanding their will. For morality, we cannot do any such kinds of practice that is against the morality and health. So then key restriction imposed by UP. Sorry, I'm mostly taking focusing North India. So imposed by the UP anti-conversion law. Ban on conversion through force and fraud. Section 3 provides conversion by force, threats, coercion, undue influence, and misrepresentation. Undue influence means like we cannot give false information to them and forcefully we are doing or we are asking them to change their religion. I know we are not doing these things. And fraudulent means hota hai allurement, gift, money, employment, free education, promises of better life. Remember, allurement is a word we cannot be defined actually properly. Why we are being trapped, why we are being attacked, why we are being uh, uh, our voice is not listened, and it's what we are not actually in the coming slides I have written. We are doing properly many things. We are following our Indian constitution, we are following all the rules and regulation and orders, but we also being attacked, our churches are being attacked, we are being sent to jail. Why? See, allurement is something like a promises of better life that we cannot avoid actually. So this is a very difficult to define this word. So a conversion carried out solely for marriage or marriage undertaken solely to achieve conversion may be declared void. Yeah, well, we have to also understand many things are happening sometimes. Like I'm Anoop Sharma and I'm going to marry Stella. So she is a documented Christian. I am a not documented Christian. So my marriage from the beginning itself is void. That is not a legal marriage actually. See, I am not a documented Christian, and she's a documented Christian. A Christian cannot marry Hindu girl, a Hindu boy. From the documents side, it is illegal. In order to marry a Christian girl, I need to be a Christian. But documents, I am not a Christian, but by faith I am Hindu. So, and we know that how marriages can be void. Also, timings are there. When you read our Christian Marriage Act, there is a written when you can conduct marriage, daytime or night time, what is the proper time as there. And many times we are saying we are Christian, but government asks show me your documents. We are not, that's why Kalisya Sahayog is there, like we are asking people to register your vote. If it is okay for you, it is okay for your community, please be a documented Christian. Declare. Before anti-conversion law, there was no anything like that. You have to pray, give 60 days prayer notice to the magistrate to declare that what religion you are going to change or what religion you are going to accept. Now we have to do that. Okay. Prior notice requirement. A person wishing to convert must give declaration to the district magistrate at least 60 days before conversion. The religious person conducting the conversion ceremony must also provide advance notice. It is very important for us not to put any baptism photos on social media when you are giving baptism. Baptism is one of the act of our religion that are declaring, but actually, if the person who is giving baptism, if he is not, he did not given prior notice to the district magistrate, and the person who is taking baptism, he also did not declare to the district magistrate, then both can be trapped and both can be jailed and both FIR can be done against them. So district magistrate may be order a police inquiry into the proposed conversion. When you are going to give prior notice, then maybe inquiry would be take place, and from the person who is going to take baptism, whether they will ask some questions. They need to be ready with the question, what question they are going to be asked and what answer we need to give. So failure to follow this procedure can be rendered and conversion could be illegal. So please do not go for the numbers and do not publish the photos on social media. The law places Huh, that's sorry. The burden of proof. One of the, just give me 1 minute, please. I have my, just 1 minute, please. Sorry, my charger. Okay. Burden of proof. What is the meaning of burden of proof? This is the one of the greatest tragedy is a part of anti-conversion law. In these things, what happens? The law places the burden on the person causing or facilitating the conversion to prove that it was voluntary and lawful. See, if third person is complaining and complainant is a third person and the third person is saying he was converting from such that day, that is enough for you. And then police will come and catch you and take you in the police station and do. Then what? You have to prove that you are not doing any illegal conversion. You are not forcing anybody. And you have to prove, you have to witness, you have to give all the documents to him just to prove yourself. That is the worst thing actually. So that is the, because of this, many personal enmities are taking place and many persons are getting opportunity where they are using this chance and putting their personal enmity and going against the people. And another thing is this law is a non-bailable offense. Offenses under act are generally cognizable and non-bailable, allowing police investigation arrest under the law. It means non-bailable offense and cognizable offense means hota hai, police not going to ask you anything. They can arrest you. Even they are not going to give prior notice to the district magistrate. They are not going to give you any notice. They can come and arrest you, and without your permission, they can do and start investigation, and they can come into your home and investigate all documents and everything. So remember, that is the worst thing in this law. So how critics says that law restricts Article 25? Prior government permission. So suppose that before conversion, now interfere is coming. Like before that, we earlier we don't used to give any prior notification or any notice to the district magistrate. Now we have to do this. So that is the actually against the freedom of conscience. Suppose that it is my inner conviction that I want to change my religion. Who the hell are you to ask? And I take permission from you from the third person. But now anti-conversion law has said that you have to take permission. Your inner conviction is convicted that Jesus is the Lord. Okay, that's fine. You just practice with yourself. But I am here. You have to take permission. Police inquiry into the personal religious choices may be affected privacy and autonomy. Article 25 is being 21 is being violated now here. Police inquiry. Right to privacy is not there actually here. Being violated. Broad definition of allurement. In the beginning I said there is no actually proper definition. What? It could be anything. It could be God is going to bless you. That is enough to be being trapped. God is going to give you new life. That is enough. So, like potentially include charitable activities such as education, medical health, welfare, work connected with religious organization. There is nothing which can be avoided from this. Could be defined as an allurement. So this is one of the challenge for us. Fear of the criminal persecution may be discourage legitimate religious propagation and voluntary conversion. Whether it is voluntary conversion or it is forceful conversion, nothing can be defined. Section A, anti-conversion law, Section 3, provision of unlawful conversion says. Section 5, share about the punishment. So punishment is too much. It could be a lifelong punishment, and you have to also pay the fine. And marriage for unlawful conversion declare void. Isliye pastor, be careful when we are conducting marriage. A person who is a Christian and another person is not Christian, but those are only believer. So it would be always good for us to do a court marriage rather than doing marriage in the church. Yeah, you can come and then you can do ceremonies. Do not call it as a marriage. It would be good if both are not Christian, documented Christian. So we have to also concern about the time and both backgrounds, because suppose that I'm a Christian and others whom I'm going to marry, she is a Christian, but my family members are not Christian, then also can be a problem. Section 8, prior declaration and notice to district magistrate. It has been added in anti-conversion law. Before it was not there. Section 12, burden of proof, that I said. Burden of proof, we'll need to understand. What activities are generally lawful? Remember one thing. Generally lawful activities are included holding a church service, conducting prayer meeting, Bible studies, distributing religious literature peacefully, discussing your faith with a willing listener. Remember one thing that sometimes people are not willing to listen, and do not invite such people in the church. Avoid them. If you want to go and meet them privately and talk to them, do not bring them, invite into the church. They are not willingly. And do not promise them, come church and God will heal you, God will bless you, and will pray for you. That remember thing, oh, you are doing with a good intention, with a good heart, God will bless you. But the Indian constitution is, anti-conversion law is not going to bless you, it is going to trap you. Charitable work without coercion. It is about the person who is how he is defining what is charitable work under the anti-conversion law. Be aware that anti-conversion law is in some state, including Uttar Pradesh, provide conversion through force. And so in Uttar Pradesh, anti-conversion law is one of the toughest. Practical steps to reduce the risk and avoid the conflict. These are the things we need to know. Documentation. Keep records of church registration, rental agreements, and permission and financial records. Every church should work on this, like if they are not these things. Church should record of registration when you have registered your church, rental agreements. And when you are doing a rental agreement, any premises, though that is a person who's Hindu and you are taking a rent at that place, and you have to also clearly define that what purpose that premise you are going to be used. And landlords should be aware of these things. This rental agreement should be very clear. Permission should be taken, and financial records should be there, that from where you are getting fund and who is giving fund. So that's maintain attendance of record for organized events when appropriate. Transparency, be open about the nature of meeting, what kinds of meetings you are conducting, and what is the intention of that meeting, what purpose. Inform the landlord and local authorities when legally required. Is something that you are conducting some meeting which is not usually happen in normal that places, it is wise for us to inform local authorities. And when you are going to ask their help, they will send some person like from police station, they will send 2 or 3 police person, they will come and sit and protect you. That is good, we should exercise these things. Avoid misunderstanding about the purpose of gathering. We need to tell, inform the people and nearby police station that what are the purpose of gathering. Security measures like install CCTV camera. Uh, there is one act, Indian Technology Information Act, if I'm right, Article 2000, IT Act. So under that, CCTV and cameras, videos and audios, these are lawful. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is they recognize these things. So keep emergency contact list and train legal procedure. See, we have to church, we need to exercise that, like if something is happening, some mob or some extremists came to the church, whom to contact and who need to contact. There should be not only 2 or 3 person, because that when things happens and ships are being scattered and leaders shepherd is being caught. So we have to, you do not be a boss of the church. We have to train that something is happening. You have to train people. You can contact such person. Community relation is very important. Maintain respectful relationship with neighbors. Address complaint peacefully. Avoid confrontational interaction. Yeah, this is very important. When any extremists are coming to your church, we do not try to prove that your faith to them. you don't need to define them what is they don't know actually. Police, this person are, they don't know about the law, all these things. They are simply coming and catching you. We don't need to define them. Many times what we are trying, we are becoming so spiritual and we are trying to give the answer of the every question. It means we are writing a question paper. No, actually it is not wise sometimes. If it is required, give the answer of that question, otherwise be silent. It is good to be silent sometimes, not always. Legal preparedness, like keep contact detail of the local lawyers, know the nearest police station and senior police officer. Churches should go and meet the people, those near police stations people. If a mob of group attack a church or prayer meeting, immediate steps. Prioritize safety. क्या करना चाहिए? Call the police station 112. We should call at once. We should call on this one. The moment you see some people are coming near your premise, that is a crime. They cannot come actually, but because why you can call 112? Because the moment a person is coming near your place without your permission, it means he is conducting a crime already. So you don't need to ask anybody, just you call 112. Record events if can be done safely. Preserve evidence, photos, videos, damaged property, medical reports, witness. It is good. Everybody has mobile. Ask believers to record everything. Filing a complaint, seeking registration of FIR, offense such as like assault, criminal intimidation. These are the things like you can, why you can do FIR against them. You cannot do just FIR because you believe in the Lord and they are stopping us to exercise our faith. No, they are assaulting us. Criminal intimidation is they are doing. Trespasses without my permission. They are coming in my premise, my. I mean, they are damaging our properties, rioting. They cannot come in one place in such a big number. So if local police refuses to register complaint, so remedies may be include approaching superintendent, SP, magistrate under the applicable criminal procedure provision, state human rights and national human rights commission. If it is good, if you know how to file online FIR, we should know e-FIR. It's very good. Anybody can do because it will go directly to the higher command and they will take action. If government official act unlawfully, if you believe that official have exceeded their legal authority, remain calm and cooperative because they have also they are under the pressure. Ask for written order where appropriate. Record names and batches. Some cases, many things happening. Some police officer come, they do not put their name on their dress. We should notice all this thing. Detail of official who came and from which police station he is coming. Consult a lawyer promptly. Challenge unlawful action through the legal procedure and court. Do not obstruct official physically or resist lawful orders. Remember that we cannot fight with them. We cannot do any physical disruption with them, and we have to also cooperate them when they are coming because that could be also problem. Important documents every church should keep, maintain copies, physical and digital. Aadhaar card, ID, church leaders, church registration documents, if registered, trust or society registration, certificates, rental agreements or property documents, electricity and utility bills, photographs or regular church activities, financial records and donation records. Why they are, what is the main intention behind that to attack on us? This is the one thing, financial records and donation record. They are thinking that we are having fund from abroad, we are having lot of fund from outside, and that's why we are doing conversion. So we need to be clean in this area. Attendance record for major events, store copies in multiple secure location. Yes, we have to also learn one thing, that do not keep copies of your paper only one place. Sometimes many pastors are doing one mistake. They are keeping all the copies of the documents in the church only. They are keeping their things in their home. No, keep in different location and different places. That is the voice things we need to do. So during the prayer meeting, These are need to be practiced. Keep meeting peacefully, avoid crowding, maintain transparency with neighbors and landlords. It is good to have good relationship with the neighbors because neighbor is the only person who is your CCTV camera, who is coming, who is going, who is from outside. They also watches who is regular attendee, who is not regular actually. So be careful. Have responsible volunteer present. Make some volunteers at the church. Yeah, sometimes make volunteers. This day you will be overseeing the church and outside everything. Install CCTV if possible. Keep emergency contact number available. Huh. If police arrive at the prayer meeting, that is the one of the things, like many times when any police officer and a policeman is coming, we are becoming so afraid of them. No, we don't need to afraid actually. They are here to protect us, save us, guide us, lead us. That is that work actually. They are not here to torture us, to beat us or take us to the jail. No, they cannot act beyond the law. They cannot go beyond the constitution. They cannot do anything which is against the law. Remember, Article 14 says we all are equal before the law. What rule of law means the supremacy of law in the country is a law of country is a law, that is Indian constitution. So they also abide under that. So we need to talk to them. What we should ask them? We should ask what is the complaint and what is the reason you come here? Who filed the complaint and who is the complainant? Ask them who actually filed the complaint. Take their photo. Many times, many things are happening, attacks are happening in the church, but pastors and leaders don't know who is the. Why? Because we never ask from the policeman who is the complainant and who has filed the complaint. We don't, by the word of side, the word of God said you don't have because you didn't ask yet. So many time we don't ask. Then we have to also ask the question, do you have any written order? So simply you came. In my case, what happened? Simply they came with the people, with the group of people, and they attacked on my in my home. And when with the help of Munish Bhaiya, I did online FIR against them. Then there after that they made the list of the complainant. You know that. So we should ask that who actually complained. So under which law you are acting? You should ask question why you are come here and what law we are prohibiting and breaking. That's why you come here. Which law give you permission? Based on that you are acting. Actually, they will not have answer. Sometimes we are giving the answer very spiritually, emotionally. Emotions and spirituality are not going to work with is related to the law documents. You should cooperate peacefully, record events lawfully and safe. Note officer name and badge number and contact lawyer immediately. Whenever you contact lawyer, then tell the name of the police officer and what is the name and what rank he come from. He is just only Havaldar or inspector or he is a sub inspector. What we should do and actually what we should not do. Argue, we should not argue aggressively with them. Okay. Since it is just I finished my law studies, I am learning. Ms. Bhaiya teach me that we should not take them into the just into the like a mid of the river. We should take them around the river. We should not go to direct to the question answer. See, remember we have to ask how to interact with the people. If somebody is asking you direct question, one question, you do not give direct answer to the questions. Sometime answer are given while you are asking also like counter questions. If they are asking some question, you can also ask the question. If they are asking why you are conducting church service here, then you should ask which law allows us not to conduct the service here. Why you are believing in Jesus Christ? You tell them which article says, which law talk of I cannot believe in Jesus Christ. You can ask some counter question to them. So these are things we should also careful. So if mob extremist group arrives, what we have to also careful. They have to also concern with the women's and children's, and these things we have to very important. Is somebody beating you or some thing happening, injuries happening, we need to have a medical reports. You should keep. So witness we should have, and these things are very important. if somebody is being assaulted, so medical examination is there, should be there. Injury reports, please preserve it. Hospital record, please preserve it. Photographs of injury, please preserve it. Request registration of FIR for relevant offense such as assault, criminal. On the basis of these things, you can file FIR against them. Maybe next time we'll be learning how to do online FIR. Just I'm finishing. Sorry, I take a lot. So if police refuse to register an FIR, you may submit written complaint to the superintendents of police. Send the complainant a complaint by registered post or email. You should learn how to send a complaint by post or by email. Approach magistrate through the lawyer and keep copies of submission. So understanding these are things we are not doing, but still emergency contact list. Every church should have maintained local advocates, senior pastors, church elders, nearest police station. These things we should have, like whom we can contact emergency. And after that, if something happening, we should have an incident report form also, like what happened, when happened.